everybody. We have a special throwback edition of the pod this week. Homeboy forgot the cameras. That's all right.
Who
cares? It's an easier edit. We've earned it. The company's rewarding us with for our hard work editing this podcast. That people,
we did a live for an over an hour.
That's true. We did it. It was a fun live. If you were there, thanks for hanging out. If you weren't, come to the next one. They're growing. They're
fun.
Whatever.
We had a really good
talking
time
anyway.
And we will talk to you.
It's no fucking sticks or stones to me.
We'll
be sitting down here bullshitting with or without the camera. So
it's true.
That's kind of where we're at.
We're completely. Let's be honest though. When we know, when we know we're rolling, we're completely different people. With completely different conversations. I
don't know if I agree with that, but
do you think I crank the energy up?
This is you high energy?
It's about to, once I start talking about like partial birth abortion, I'm going to get real squeaky.
Okay. Yeah. Once we get your hot topics.
Yeah.
You know?
Once I'm ready to talk about, the issues,
Dude, the issues of the day. Everybody's getting the stimulus check, dude. It passed today. That's the big news today. Well, not everyone. I think it's like 75,000. You don't get it? I think that's
if you
the
make
cutoff
over
point.
75?
I think that's what it is. I could be wrong. Don't quote your boy. What am I going to do with my stimmy? How many people are... there's going to be a lot of fucking knuckleheads who are going out there buying $1,400 worth of Doge or Ethereum.
What's crazy is like if you're like thinking about what you're going to spend your stimulus check on, the stimulus has failed.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it has. Yeah, for real.
It's supposed to buy spaghetti.
It also fails. No, but it also fails when people get it and they're like, what are you going to do with it? I'm going to pay off a credit card. How's that stimulating the economy?
Oh yeah, that's for sure
just
failed.
Padding another bank.
Basically, you're rectifying.
That's what most people are doing. That's where we're at, man.
You're rectifying an old stimulation.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, I did stimulate back in 2020, but I need
got all this credit card debt from Cars for Clunkers. I was buying clunkers, trying to flip them for a profit, exploiting a government program in a recession. And I got burned by the scrap yards.
Isn't it crazy that like
Gary V.
During the 2008 recession, we were like kind of, as like human beings, we were too dumb to not be oblivious to it.
I don't understand. What do you mean?
Like for me, like I knew it was happening and I knew my parents were like, they were like talking about it all the time. But for me, I just like had no bills. So my life didn't change at all.
If you're a kid, you're like, who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
Dude?
You're like,
watch South Park tonight. Yeah.
It wasn't like.
Until the day you don't.
Right. Until the cable shut off.
That sucks.
Did you have that?
Oh yeah, I had that, dude.
You had the day the cable was shut off?
Recession hit my family hard, dude. My dad's an electrician. It was a housing market collapse. My dad wires homes for houses, dude.
Yeah, it is rough.
It was rough for a while, dude. Whatever, you move on.
What's crazy is my dad, he's like a amusement operator. He owns an arcade, okay?
Yeah.
So it just kind of was like steady roughness.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
After the 90s.
It's just like a slight decrease in business.
Then it burned down. And then we were out, basically. He does a little bit, but like that was kind of, to be honest.
Did it give him an out from the insurance money?
Here's what you do. This is insurance advice, and it's important, and it's kind of funny. Okay?
Do tell.
If you have a house fire, if you have a property fire, what you do, either let the whole thing burn. Okay, salvage nothing. Don't call the fire department until it's done, until it's totaled, right? Because the insurance company will come out and they will look at everything and they will try to say, this is salvageable, and we don't know any shit for it. What you do is you go out, if you have, there's insurance on the building and then there's insurance for everything inside the building. You go inside the building, you take a video of everything that is ruined inside of the building, comprehensive insurance. You take a video and you say, this is fucked, this is fucked, this is fucked, this is fucked, this is fucked. And once you come up with your $87,000 worth of comprehensive insurance, guy, you get a check for $87,000 and nobody will tell you shit. Nobody wants to watch all those videos. That's what we learned.
Yeah, good point.
That's it. That's like, seriously, if you ever find yourself in that, don't get scammed. Take a video, have proof that you have 80,000. Like,
dude, I never thought about that.
This is a comedy podcast.
I know, right? You're talking about
That's so fucking important though. If you forget that and you have a house fire, you're fucked. Dude.
Yeah. Well, dude, did I tell you this one time? I think I don't know. Might have been in high school. Anyway, my dad was working on a house, and he was wiring a house, and it was in progress. It was still being built, and it burnt down like in the middle of the night.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So then everyone's obviously like freaking out. Like my dad's the electrician, so the first thing he's like, "Fuck!" Like,
yep.
It's did I screw something up? And it's gonna burn down. That cause a spark, whatever. No, you know what it was?
What?
You want to hear something crazy? It turned out to be paint rags that were clumped together. Which, if you guys don't know about this, you can't take used paint rags and like throw them all in a bag together. It will spontaneously combust. Like the chemical, like I don't know.
I don't know either.
I ain't no genius, but anyway, like the chemicals in those rags converge in a way that caused them to spontaneously combust, and the painters left bags of paint rags there, and they burst and burnt down the whole building, burnt down the whole house, I should say. And then my dad was off the hook. But like, dude, at the time, I remember while that whole investigation was ongoing, dude, I've never seen that dude more stressed, and I felt so bad. I was like,
did he know it wasn't him? Was he pretty confident?
Well, dude, when something like that happens, like you don't know anything anymore at that point. You're basically like, well, you just could say it could be anything. I could have made any mistake in the whole world, and it could have been me. But no, it wasn't, dude. He ain't gonna get a bad Yelp review. I'll tell you that much. You ain't gonna be able to come after him and say, "Hey, he wired my house."
I had a house fire, but it was not my fault.
Yeah, it was not.
Motherfucking painters threw their rags in a bin.
I feel bad for those painters, though, man, because then
everyone knows you can't throw paint rags in a bucket.
I guess they did. You think the people who do, you would think the people who did know that were professional painters. But they're just doing that.
They're like, why does every home we work on burn down?
Guys, this is episode.
Maybe it's us.
I just imagine like having guys, we have to have a staff meeting. We've lost $7 million in insurance so far because you keep burning down people's houses, guys. What's going on?
Yeah,
I like the idea of a guy who owns a painting company who's been sued 7 times for houses catching on fire, and then on the 7th lawsuit puts it together that he's him. Like, guys, what's going on out there?
Yeah,
come on, we're bleeding money. Like he's not even like fully mad about it. They're all like,
it's you.
Why do they keep burning down?
It's funny you say that because the building fire we had, I was the last person to leave the store. So my mom.
So you were shaking in your boots, huh?
Well, my mom shakes me and wakes me up, right? So she's like, "Joe, Tokens and Tickets is on fire. We have to go." And I was like,
I like that she said the name of the arcade. She didn't say, "Hey, the arcade's on fire."
She said Tokens and Tickets. Yeah. She says Tokens Tickets is on fire. And I was like, and immediately my first thought is like, I was the last one. And I'm like, and then I think about it, I'm like, there's like when I'm closing, there's nothing I could have done that would set a fucking building on fire.
What happened?
Kids lit so there's a mansard roof, like wooden roof, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like big one. So the dumpster is directly underneath it. So part of the mansard roof hangs over the dumpster. So these kids have been starting dumpster fires, okay? So
why? Because they're just shitheads?
They're shitheads, and they've been doing it all over town, okay?
These kids love corn.
That's the crazy thing.
Huge corn heads.
Dude, they, for sure.
Big gold corn on the cobs.
What's crazy, though, what's interesting, because above the arcade was a restaurant called Gordy's, right? So it's like they were basically lighting Gordy's on fire, and then Gordy's came down on top of Tokens.
Sounds like a small town New American.
It sure is, dude. Dude, there's an American
Nailed
Teen.
it.
American Teen is a movie made by Paramount Pictures. It's a documentary that's like a middle America, and it's in Warsaw, Indiana. That my parents' arcade is in it. Gordy's is in it. Guy, I am a clone.
So famous.
Yeah, I'm a fucking replication of humanity. So anyway, burns down, and it's these kids. What was interesting, the guy that owned the upstairs, it was his brother's godson was the one that burned it down. Just completely like inconsequentially, just like he was lighting dumpsters on fire, probably didn't even know, and he lit it on fire. So it's just kind of interesting. And also this kid, I'm used to like kids being like, because they were like 12 or something, but apparently they got like real fucked, dude. They were in juvie for a really long time.
They burnt down your parents' business, dude.
The thing was, though, my parents they'd been getting robbed at their Fort Wayne location. They'd been getting robbed by a couple kids for like 2 years. They basically just weren't checking the tapes, and like these kids have been like skimming cash, and those kids got away scot-free. They got away. They basically like did juvie for a year. So I assumed that if kids got caught doing crimes, they were just like, kids will be kids. But these kids got like fucked. They did like 4 years of juvie as 12-year-olds.
Damn.
I felt bad.
Those are hard kids now.
I'm sure they're not doing well.
What do you think they're up to now, dude?
Fucking not dumpsters. They probably moved on to probably armed robbery, couple rapes. I don't know. Like, I hate to use the R word, but
robbery of a tattoo shop, maybe something like that.
Dude, if you burn down
credit card theft,
if you're doing dumpster fires at 12, you probably raped someone at 18.
I wish I hadn't
said that, but I said it.
Yeah, dude. I mean, listen, if you're getting off from fire, there are several dominoes that came before that. And you're right. Sexual assault.
Yeah.
Probably harming animals.
Yeah.
Dude, this world is so fucked up. You know what's crazy? It's like murder podcasts are the biggest fucking thing in the whole world. Murder podcasts. There are.
Oh, we love it.
It's like we love it. We eat it up. It's like Netflix. Tell us what is the homicide I should care about this week, please.
Oh,
dude, back in Cincy, I saw this story made national news. This mom killed her kid ran her kid over.
You're about to say on live TV. I'm like,
no,
what?
Dude, wow. That would have been a crazy day for a local TV station. No, she did that and then like threw it in the river. This awful bitch. They found the kid, the poor boy. She is gonna get lit the fuck up. That's like death penalty.
Murdering a child, throwing in a river?
Yeah, that's death penalty.
Do they have capital punishment in Ohio?
I don't know, actually.
I think Texas is the only one that'll like. No, they're the only electric chair.
I think they do.
Are they still doing that?
I think they do, Ohio.
Christian Ryder, if you watch this episode, let us know.
Why wouldn't he know?
He lives in Texas. Joe Gibbs also lives in Texas.
So. I don't think just for an average Texas person is privy to all of the state mandated deaths. The protocol. Maybe they do. Maybe it's the opposite. I assume every Texan, looks forward to it. They watch it every night, like the Powerball numbers.
I would imagine
it's on from like 7:55 to 8 o'clock in between Jeopardy and. Hold on, let me get to it.
Yeah, you got it.
Fuck, what's it called? Call Me Cat.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Wheel of Fortune.
No.
What's Call Me Cat?
No, it's the window between Wheel of Fortune and the shitty CBS scripted multicam comedy.
See, you know the names of those shows.
I see all the billboards, and also I was watching it the other day, and it was not good, dude.
I got a question for you. Are we moving away from a televised execution or towards a televised execution?
Towards.
You think so?
Yeah, dude. It's unfortunate. I think that, let's not even go into this. This is a dark podcast. But
Welcome to the show.
Dude, that is
Have you watched an episode?
This is the obvious future, is that people are just going to live stream. It's just the idea of live streaming. I mean, that's the whole game, is like everybody can go live now from their phone. Everybody can go live from their phone.
Right.
That shit is only you're just gonna see more and more horrific shit being broadcasted as time goes on.
I know.
One has to imagine. I guess that's my guess.
That's the thing. It's like I saw someone get thrown from a car window, and I forgot about it.
Yeah,
I saw it, dude.
Yeah, dude. And you're like, well, what?
And then I just was reminded that it happened, and I have
a new episode of The Challenge this week. So
it's crazy how desensitized I am. Yeah. It's crazy what I saw and how fucked up it got me. And then within 10 minutes, I was holding a Starbucks coffee, coding some JavaScript.
God, I love a Starbucks iced coffee sometimes.
I hate iced coffee. I'm not like, coffee should be hot. In my IMO, drink whatever you want. I don't fucking care. But
dude, I love a Starbucks iced coffee on like a Wednesday. dude.
A
random
different
day.
on a Wednesday, huh?
Yeah, it does. Because most of the time, I make coffee. I buy the fucking Trader Joe's coffee, and I just put that in the little machine.
Ooh, morning blend.
Dude,
Fair
that's
trade.
like, I was drinking it this week.
Yeah.
God, dude, I crushed that shit. And
Do you grind your own beans?
Yeah, dude.
I don't think it matters, to be honest.
It does. Makes a big difference.
You know what I started? Because I used to grind my own beans because I thought maybe it would go further. But you know what my favorite brand of coffee is?
What, Folgers? I love Folgers.
You've been, yeah, it's fine, but
So
it's
good.
not. It's it's not a treat.
It's not going to hit as hard, but it's so classic and so good. Like, I sit there and drink 5 cups of Folgers at like an IHOP
Yeah.
or like a Waffle House. Yeah.
So you've seen the bags, you know all the brands of coffee. What brand, if you have to guess, have I fallen in love with?
Are they at Ralph's?
Yes. They're not too expensive.
I'm going to go with,
I have a hint ready. If
there's
you can't
Green
get it.
Mountain. They're kind of boring though. Are you like an 8 o'clock coffee guy? They're pretty cheap and you're kind of cheap. So
Eh.
I'm not 8 o'clock. Not Starbucks. That would be too easy. Wow.
I love this
Dunkin'.
game.
I love Dunkin' coffee.
Okay.
Is it some stupid brand? I never buy.
It's
I
a
buy the
yellow bag.
Oh, is it like the Colombian Boosta?
It's called Javalia with a G.
No one listening
Really?
to this podcast has ever heard of that.
I guarantee you're wrong. Javalia, it's
Not
like taking
one
over.
fucking person listening to this knew what that was.
I thought we were gonna have a moment. I thought you were gonna know what I was.
What is that?
It's a yellow bag. It's a G, Javalia. It's pre-ground. I don't know if they have whole bean, but like it's pre-ground. And I just,
Am I out of the loop? Or is
Dude,
Joe? You're
it's
gonna have
like-
to let us know in the comments.
you can buy it on sale for like $5 a bag. It tastes like coffee you would get at like Pete's or Ralph's or not. Sorry, what's the good? Phil's.
Phil's? I still
Who
got
is this
beef with
for?
Phil's because nobody, dude. I got beef with Phil's still though because they put their iced coffee in the styrofoam hot coffee cups, and that I don't enjoy that. I really don't like that.
You wanna see the
and
ice
neither
cubes?
would you. And I know you're sitting home. You think I'm fucking petty because I don't want to. Imagine getting an iced coffee and someone poured it in a Dunkin' styrofoam cup. An iced coffee and then said drink it through the hot coffee.
You want to see the cubes?
That's their game.
You want to see the cubes?
I need the straw. I need the straw so I can pull it out to up just by the ice
Yeah.
so I can get the coldest drink.
Dude, I like to shit on everything you do, but like you are 100% right.
Some of you fucking animals get an iced coffee and you put the straw and the straw sits at the very bottom of the cup, which is basically probably room temperature because you're holding it.
Interesting
You gotta pull
thought.
that straw up a little bit and let it hit down in the frosty Arctic Circle of your drink so you can get the coldest drink of it.
That's funny because if I was a cold coffee guy, I'd want it as cold as you could do it.
No, people put it at the bottom and I just see them sucking on it. I'm like, dude, I know that's hot.
Yeah.
I know it's not cold.
That's what's funny because it's like coffee to me, like it'll be like 100 degrees outside. I want hot coffee.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like it. I like to, it has to be.
There's something good about like, you ever had food from a truck and a hot coffee outside on like a hot day?
You just say, fuck it.
And it's just fuck it
Sweat.
everywhere. Dude, some of the hardest guys around here, dude, especially like we would get those like Roach Coach trucks all the time at like my old neighborhood where they'd come in the neighborhood and be like,
Oh, yeah.
like swear to God, that's the horn it was. And they'd pop out and it's just dudes. It'd be like 100 degrees out there and it's just dudes with hot coffees and like little breakfast burritos, little tortas or something like that, and just chugging them and just smoking cigarettes. Just 3 levels of heat.
Yeah.
Like the sun is literally burning you and giving you cancer, and then you're smoking cancer, and then you're drinking the caffeine drug.
At that point, your
and
body
you're-
is like, I don't know what else to do to tell you to like tell you you're fucking dying of heat stroke.
you're dying. You're going to have a stroke, but none of them do. And then
What is I got a question for you.
that's where it's at.
What is the what meal is like on a hot day in the sun, no shade? What meal is the meal that's gonna make you sweat the most? Like what dish is gonna make you? I know what mine is.
It's like eating pad ki mao or some kind of like spicy Asian noodle dish.
I was gonna say tikka masala.
So, oh my god, dude! If you're standing, imagine. Like, I'm like, hey Joe, you want to come meet me? I'm going to. There's this food truck alley by my house. Let's go have dinner. You're like, sure, I'll meet you there. And it's 100 degrees.
Standing.
I'm eating butter chicken next to a porta potty, while like a homeless person spit. Dude, I hate to do this.
You can't.
I can't do it again.
No.
But I've never had anything as crazy as what happened to me. I was at this Whole Foods again, where I got a ticket recently. This time I parked in the parking lot. I didn't fucking
learned.
I had to wait in line to go into the Whole Foods because, hey, guess what? We live in LA where shit is still strict as hell. So I'm waiting in line to go inside of this Whole Foods. And man, this drifter just came out immediately. This guy, imagine a line of 15 boring yuppie type people in line to go to the WeHo Whole Foods, and out comes this guy who's obviously on the street. He comes out, instantly takes his mask off, and like just spits a fucking huge loogie out on like towards people's feet, essentially. So like 10 people, they all like jump to the side, and they're like, no one says a word. No one says a word. Everyone just says like. And I just like, I laugh because like that's my reaction and everything. I'm sorry, it doesn't look great, but I just laugh because I'm like, this couldn't be more ridiculous. Like no one can say
nothing more disgusting could have happened.
It's just the most horrific behavior and the most disgusting behavior, but everyone is just like, well, can't really say anything. I just gotta stay here. What am I gonna do? Anyway, so this guy then takes off his shirt. Then walks. Yeah, so then
pops it off after the loogie?
Pops his shirt off after the loogie.
All right, I'm glad you're telling the story, by the way.
Then goes over to this little newspaper stand, still right next to all of us waiting. Takes off his pants, starts playing with his dick. There are like 10 women in line. I feel so bad. Just young women in line. And I've seen many a dick in real life, and I don't enjoy looking at it, but I was not shocked by it. So I just stood there. And again, I just kind of laughed and I felt bad. But like the only person left to handle this, man, was the parking guy who monitors everyone's parking.
He ain't getting paid enough.
He's not getting paid enough. He like, and everyone just stared at this guy, like waiting for him to get involved. And he just kind of was like,
not doing it.
Not doing it. Yeah, and he just turned and like went back. He's like, nope, like, you know, flashing like a little glow in the dark stick.
Yeah.
Go this way.
If I can't solve the problem with this stick, I'm not solving it.
Yeah, so then thankfully they let everyone in. And then I was in there for maybe 5 minutes and I come out and there was no trace of the man. Is he a ghost? Am I being haunted? I don't know. Like,
that's a good question.
What a crazy situation. I just felt bad. Like, God, I guess it'd be would have been weirder or less weird if it was the flip side and it was just like a gross woman just comes out of the store and just starts fingering herself in front of everybody.
More disturbing.
It would hit worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be way hard.
You expect that shit
would be way
from a
more
man.
hardcore. I'd be like, I can't.
Mm-hmm. From a man, you're like, boys will be boys.
Yeah.
From a woman, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, guy does.
What have I? It's funny.
They're technically allowed to be citizens, so.
If you've made it, nice.
I'm saying men. Not homeless people. I'm saying men.
If you've made it this far, leave a comment and let us know if it's more. Because I'm curious. Like, is it more disturbing? For sure, right?
Who knows?
Unquestionably.
I hope. I've never had to see it.
Are we at 30?
I've never had to see it. We got to be close.
We got to be close.
Did it live.
We don't got it. Yeah, we're tired.
What are you gonna do? We're not.
This has been a good 30 though.
No, it hasn't. We are not at 30.
How close are we even?
Your perception of time is so warped.
It's so warped because I rely on the cameras.
Yeah, so you forgot the camera. So it feels. It's
time
cool.
To pull out more homeless stories for the next 10 minutes. I'm kidding.
No, I know we don't want to talk about it, but it was just so crazy. I could not.
Dude, I never told my. Did I ever tell my...
we can't do this.
What?
I guess I told...
It's not homeless.
Okay, that's cool.
It's my story of looking at a trap house to buy a trap condo.
No.
All right, so I'm checking out an apartment, all right, I'm not even going to say what neighborhood it was in because I'm afraid.
Here in LA?
Here in Los Angeles County. So... I'd been looking at different places. I have a lady that shows me around to different spots to check out apartments. And I go to this spot. There's a current, it's already been canceled a couple times. All right. My tour has already been canceled. So I'm already, because of the current tenant, because something came up. Right. So I already know the current tenant doesn't want to leave. Right. They're making it stinky. Right. They're trying to make it difficult. So I already know this. One Tuesday, they say, hey, it's open. You can come in this Tuesday. Check this place out. And it's a good deal on a place. So I'm like, all right, let's check it out. I already kind of know I'm going down there for the story. All right. Because it's not going to be good. I want to see what this current tenant's like. I show up. The lady that's been showing me around is talking to the property owner. And they come up to me and I can tell there's just something off. There's music blaring from where I know the apartment is. All right.
Hell yeah.
It's like Chicano rap. You know?
Nice.
It's all in Spanish, but it's like hip hop. And I can smell weed coming out of it. And I'm like, this is what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So I go up to these people. And one dude, he's like this Armenian guy. He's like older. He's like, oh yeah, so it's up here. And they're not even close to the apartment. Not even close. And I was like, this is weird. The lady's
it's up in that general. It's up there somewhere.
First thing he does, he's like, I haven't renovated this one. So I'm going to show you another one that I've renovated to show you what it's going to look like. And I'm like, okay.
No, I was like, no, I need to see the unit.
He's like, we'll see it, but I want to show you what it's going to look like. I'm like, sure. Show me a different apartment.
Well, as long as he says you can go see the real one. If he was like, I'm not going to take you to the real one, you can see this one, which that's a common thing here in LA, by the way. It's people saying, hey, you get there and like, well, it's not that one, but I have one. It's basically the same thing. And they're more or less right, but still it pisses you off. And you're like, what?
I think he was kind of hoping I would do that. At some point, I'm like, if I'm buying this fucking condo, I'm going to walk into it.
Yeah, I'm going to step foot in it, I would think.
Anyway, so I go and I check out. He's like, all right, cool. And I'm like, yeah, it looks nice. All right, whatever. So I'm like, let me see the place. All right. So I'm walking up and I'm like, this was the best part. The broker lady and then the guy, the owner, they're like, we're not going to go in because there are people in there. And, like the old guy's like, I'm getting my vaccine next week. So I'm not going in. I'm concerned. And I can tell, I'm like, you and this lady, I'm like, you've been into every place. You've been following me around the whole month into different places, and you're not going into this one. I'm like, this is great. Because I can tell you guys, I know there's mad tension between the property owner and whoever the fuck is in this apartment.
Yeah, so then you think, hey, what's a good idea? I should go in there and say, hey guys, I'm the one. I'm the guy taking over. Do you guys have Spectrum hookup?
Yeah.
Or do you have AT&T? I have Spectrum now.
Do you guys know?
It's cool. Did the fridge come with it, or are you guys it's cool if you are. Yeah. It's cool. Should I go get one?
As I displace you.
I can get it. I can't afford it.
So I walk in, and it is these there's a barber chair set up. It's trapped. It's Traphouse, trapped out. This place is barren. There's no furniture, just stuff everywhere. Okay. And they have a barber chair set up and they're doing haircuts.
Amazing.
And I walk in and I say, what's going on, fellas? And they're like, hey. And then one of them says, have I told you the story?
No, I'm buddy. On the edge of my seat.
This is so great. I was like, what's up, fellas? And I'm in loungewear. I'm in my around the house wear. And one of them's like
an Adidas tracksuit.
Basically, more or less.
No, Adidas brand tracksuit.
I mean, sure. So I'm like, they're like, you want some drugs? You trying to buy some drugs? And I was like, at this point, I'm alone. I'm not with anyone. So I'm like,
maybe I am.
What drugs? And they're like, oh, this guy's cool. I'm half joking, but I'm like, if I can find some sort of plug for a hallucinogenic, and I'm trying to
you got LSD?
Make goodwill. Yeah, exactly. So I'm like,
hey, by the way, while I'm buying LSD from you guys, after the money changed hands, Jay, just I am going to be taking over this lease.
Right. I think they were cool. Like they at that point when I asked like what drugs, all of a sudden like one guy's, he's like showing me, he's like, oh, you look like an oxy guy. I'm like, why?
What is going, dude? If your poor mother heard this story,
I think I told her.
You going to a fucking trap house buying oxy from some guy.
But it was funny. I was like, maybe like, they were like, you look like an oxy guy, right? And I'm like, why do I look like an oxy guy?
Someone on the live today said Joey looked like a German crackhead. So there's some kind of trend here.
Yeah,
you look like you're addicted to prescription painkillers.
I was more offended by that. I was more offended. And I'm like, maybe they're like, well, you like cocaine? I'm like, I did it once. And then this guy's like showing me pictures of cocaine on his phone. And I'm like, okay, first of all, show me cocaine. All right. First, and second of all, I told you I did it one time. So I don't know. He's like, look at this coke. I'm like, guy, I got it from a friend. I have no. Yeah,
it's like when someone it's like when they pour the wine for you in the glass. And you're like, can you smell it? And you're like, oh, okay.
All the tannins.
It's buttery.
See,
this coke is. This is a spicy batch, huh? Huh, guys?
Dude,
I love it. I grow my own jalapeno peppers. I'd love to at this property too.
Dude, at this point, I'm not looking at the property, right? I'm like so distracted. I'm so uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're buying drugs.
Exactly. And I'm being shown, I'm trying to look at this. I go back in the back room and there's this Asian chick sitting on a mattress in the back master bedroom. I walk in, I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. And then I'm like, wait, what? Why am I sorry? Like, I'm looking at this place. There's this Asian chick just sitting on a bare mattress in this room.
There's
I'm like,
never a sheet on the mattress.
Sorry, I need to look in here. And she's like, yeah, it's fine. I was like, okay. And I just like look around.
Okay, I saw it.
So distracted. And then there's the bathroom. And then, okay, I'm going to save the bathroom. The bathroom happens next, but I'm going to save it because that's the climax of the story. Okay. There's a second bedroom. And I'm talking to the guy that's probably on the lease. I'm like, hey, can I get in here? Like, can I check this out? And he's like, oh yeah, sure, man. And he opens it up. He's like, oh, my baby mom is there. So he knocks on the door. He's like, hey, I need like this dude's whatever. And opens the door. There's 5 children. This is back in.
Oh, dude.
This is January. This is like COVID's still a thing, but like no mask, no anything. There are 5 children.
Oh, that's what you're worried about is the masks.
That's what I'm saying.
Not
Nobody's
the
wearing
drug
masks.
trafficking happening with the kids. That wasn't the part. It wasn't the guys pushing oxys with kids trying to learn how to speak Spanish.
I'm just painting a picture.
Yeah,
but you're mask. Right. It's not, guy. I haven't even gotten to the point.
All right. Well,
you don't even know. Okay.
You don't even know.
So I walk in and the guy's baby mom is in there holding a child and there are 4 other children running around. The only thing in this room is just like clutter and a mounted TV on the wall blaring like some cartoon. Okay. Yeah. And they're like, yeah,
Paw
check
Patrol.
Out. There's a walk-in closet. And at this point I'm like laughing to myself because I'm like, I don't even know. I'm so distracted by everything going on in here. I cannot pay attention, you know? And then this is the best part. I walk into the bathroom and he's like, let me show you where my stashes are. And I was like, oh, dude. Cool.
Dude.
I can't believe I haven't told you this. So he's like, you can go down here. There's a little slot here. He's pulling out different stashes. All right. And there's nothing in any of these stashes. All right. And he's like, he's like, I'm gonna show you where like you can keep your guns down here. He lifts up panel under the sink, like the storage under the sink, pulls up the panel, guy, pistols. Don't even know how many. Yeah. Don't even know how many. He's like, this is where you can keep your. He's like, yeah, I keep my guns down here, man. You can keep your guns down here. I'm like, guy, I don't have guns. Don't have. I'm not a.
I love that this guy saw you and didn't think anything was. They're like, yeah, this guy is gonna come to this place and traffic drugs like I am. This guy has a lot of guns. They're looking at Joey and they're like, this guy has guns that he needs to hide from federal agents.
You know what I think he was really doing though? Because I don't think he thought that. You know what I think he was doing?
He was pimping.
He was trying to impress me.
Really?
I think so.
Well, it's a common like drug dealer thing. It's like, you know, you meet a new dealer for the first time. They're kind of like, they want to show off. They want to show you like, I got this, you know. I
think he thought I was in that world.
That's what I'm saying. He looked at you and was like, this guy's in the dark underbelly of
I was kind of flattered.
LA drug culture. You should be, man. That means you look hard as fuck, man. Good for you.
I did not. I didn't.
I go in there. I'm like, hey, do you guys have a hookup? Could I fit a pinball machine in here? Do you think? What do you guys think?
They would have. I mean, we looked the same to them.
Yeah, good point.
I mean, I was where I think. Yeah, I mean, either way, we're just like, if you would have said the same thing and been like, what kind of drug? They would have been like, this guy's cool.
What kind of drugs?
Let's show him the guns.
Dude, if that's the right answer 100% of the time someone says, do you want to buy drugs? It's always, what drugs?
Yeah. Because you always
what
need
drugs?
some drugs.
I had a guy proposition me this when I watched my sister's apartment. My sister used to live in a pretty shitty neighborhood of Cincinnati, like a gentrifying.
Which one?
Over the Rhine. Before
Okay.
it was gentrified.
Sure.
And I stayed there one time and I showed up with my buddy and we get out of the car and this dude's just a pimp. He's on the street. He walks up with some girl who's like 6'5". Some girl walks up and then he's like, yo, what's up, boys? He's like, you guys trying to buy? He's like, what are you trying to buy? He's like, I got girls, I got weed, he said other things. He's like, I got girls, I got weed, I got other things. I was like, oh no, I'm good. Thanks though, man. He's like, no, she's white like you, man. She's white like you. Come on. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm good, man. By the way, I'm 18 or 17. I might have been 17. And I just remember being like, I remember thinking, oh, I don't want to hurt his feelings. That was my actual thought process. Was like, I don't want to hurt his feelings. It's kind of like if you go to Kroger and you walk in to get like a specific type of beer and they don't have it. So you're like, I don't really need anything. And you're like, well, am I allowed to just walk out? Are they going to think I stole something? And I was like, no, I don't. I have no interest in.
Mustn't be rude to the pimp.
I don't want to have sex with this girl. I'm sorry. You seem great.
I also like the idea that he's like, it's his assumption is, he's encountered people that were like, oh, no, thanks. I'm racist. I wouldn't like to solicit your prostitute because I have a racial issue.
Yeah.
And then him saying, no, it's cool.
She's white.
And you're like, oh, well, why didn't you say so?
Oh, well, I had no idea. Sorry, it's dark. I couldn't see your face. Hi there, honey. You want to go up to my sister's apartment that I haven't even gone in yet that she asked me to watch while she was on vacation in like North Carolina? And the first night I bring a hooker that I was met on the street and we boofed drugs together. That was the 2016 version of Catcher in the Rye right there.
And you're so well read, dude. It's funny you look at
through with him.
You look at me for like book references and I feel like a fucking dumbass. I'm like, I've never read a book, dude.
That Catcher in the Rye is emo kid, goes out one night, does a little bit of drugs, does a little bit of drinking, has sex with some suspect women.
I gotta read that.
And learns about his life, dude.
Is it good?
Yeah, I mean it's a classic.
All right. Do you want to keep podcasting?
No.
All right.